Just a quick audio check. Make sure I'm live and recording. Just a quick audio check. Make sure I'm live. Hey YouTube. It's your girl Duchess. How you guys doing this Sunday afternoon? Thank you so much for joining me. Just a few things to catch up on. Just kind of wanted to come in and recap a little bit, on this Sunday afternoon. A lot is happening in TV land. Our girl Jordan Childs is facing a tough challenge there, y'all. They've ordered her to have to give back that bronze medal. Have you guys heard about that? Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. So yeah, I wanted to talk about Jordan Childs. The Braxtons came back Friday. It was such a good episode. So I wanted to check the pulse on that, see if you guys had watched it, give some commentary. Ruthless came back this week. Ooh, girl. And if we have enough time, we'll get into Sisters. The finale and how that went down and what you guys think about season 8 coming. So just catching up, vibing a little bit this afternoon on this Sunday afternoon. Also a great way, well, the best way I could think of is with my YSL coverage and the court case and all of that, and so much of our community topics that I want to get into. Um, that are stemming from a lot of this stuff. There is another channel. That channel has been in the works for a while. The direction has changed a couple times, but I am going to stick with this lane because for one, I have to do something about how I am constantly challenging the algorithm. And so I'm throwing in the white towel and going to separate some things out. So I invite you guys to keep communicating with me. I so appreciate every one of you that show up to support me, show up to watch my videos and hang out with me on the lives and different things like that. So I definitely don't want to lose any of my audience, but I got to do something, guys. And I realize that I have a variety of topics, and I don't really know how well that is working for the entire community that I'm building on this channel. So, this is another way to get into it. So, couple things. I want you guys to drop in the content in the comment and let me know what's on your playlist, your music playlist. I like to know. I like to know. And a few more housekeeping things. I am on the fast track of getting this channel where I like for it to be. There are so many plans regarding this entire platform. So we're going to start doing I wanted to do it at 250 subscribers, and I've kind of gotten past that. So grateful. So we're getting ready to kick it up some. I don't really call it competition, but I think it's going to be fun to get some prizes and some money, cash, and gifts and things like that in an effort to drive up the views, the subscribers. I want to get to 1,000. 500 is my first goal, but I like to push it over to 1,000. So, our first competition is there will be 3 tiers. So we're starting at the bottom tier, third tier, over $100 in cash and prizes. Fun stuff. So, in order to have your name in the hat for this third prize, you will need to listen to the video for basketball wise. The most recent one, and there's a little something in there that's different. Cause y'all know I'm always doing something. My brain be in 100 different places, right? And y'all get all that smoke on this channel, okay? So there is something that's a little bit different, that's close to my heart, a fun space. And so what you will need to do is listen to that live, okay? Comment on the thing and the timestamp that you think that that is different, and I'm going to put your name in the hat for that prize. The other thing that will get you more is for you to have another person to comment with your name on it. So it'll look like, you know, you would be a subscriber. So something, as a referral, like a person that drops your name and they subscribe, that'll get you 2 points. So as I said, that I am elevating this channel. We are going to get to like some real lives and some real fun. There are going to be more things. I just wanted to kind of get my feet wet in this YouTube streets and learn what the algorithm wants, learn how to manage all the systems and stuff. And I think that I'm at a safe, good place to kind of really, really kick it up and have some fun here. So I need more subscribers and more watch time, and I'm going to pay you back with some fun prizes. So there will be at least $100 gift card for the winner. And then there is, I mean, I don't want to give too much because the whole part is to be a surprise, right? But I am looking at making my announcement sometime around Labor Day, mid-September. We'll go live, and we're just going to keep going up from there. So with more fun and more little tricks and more little keywords and more little things that you'll listen, give me your comment. Hopefully you have it right. So we're going to focus on basketball wives. The episode from last week, there is a special part. You won't miss it. You can't miss it, y'all. Tell me what that is and the timestamp, and we're going to go from there. That's a point. There are a few subscribers that are just always in the comments, jumping in, hanging out, doing their thing. So we're going to give some bonus points for them in getting to this prize. And this is kind of like the third tier, the bottom tier, just getting our feet wet, kind of having some fun. So that's one point, is to give me that comment. And the other point is to share it, get someone else to subscribe, and put your name in the comment as kind of like the referral thing. I think that'll be fun. I think that'll be fun. So I have a goal in my mind on where I'd like to be with the subscriber count. Oh, I have a comment. Let's see who commented. Mental health, wellness, and self-care tips. Just hanging out in these streets today, and look who I ran into. Yes, ma'am, I'm always out here doing something, child. Doing something. So yeah, like I wanted to kind of throw that out there. Gonna have some fun getting that subscriber count up, 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 up. Right. So $100 at least for that first prize. And then I have some fun things that I want to send you. And we'll go from third to second to one. So again, basketball wise, something a little different that's out of the norm with that video. You'll have to watch it and see and get the timestamp. Give me the comment of the timestamp, and get someone to come in and subscribe. Okay. At least one referral, right? I mean, there could be 2 or 3 or 4. You get a point for each time someone clicks your name. Someone drops your name down there. A point for each time. And so we're going to tally up those points, and the winner, the one with the most points, will get that first prize. I think it'll be fun. Just kind of having some fun on this channel, kicking it up a notch. I want to give to you guys as much as you give to me. It's a give and take kind of situation over here, and keep me posted on the content and what you guys like. So without further ado, let's get into this Jordan Child situation, y'all. This baby has been asked to give her bronze medal back. I'm so over Paris. Should I say that? I don't know. Am I the only one that's over Paris, y'all, and these Olympics and how they've handled things? I'm just gonna go out and tell you guys. If I was Jordan, it ain't no way. They have to come get this medal. I'm just saying. But let's get into the article. You know, still working on my presentation and sharing things and that kind of thing. So let's get into this article, y'all. Over it. Over it. Y'all don't want me to sing, do you? I know y'all don't want me to do that. I'm not going to do that to you. I had thought about it. I'm going to be honest with you. I had thought about it. That's why I had asked for that playlist earlier. Mhm. I did, but I'm not going to do that to y'all. So let's get into this article, y'all. I think I'm going to change this layout a little bit. Hold on a second. You know, just having some fun. There we go. Doesn't that look a little better? Mm, 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 mm. I'm so upset. Jordan Childs has issued a short statement after being stripped of her bronze medal at the 2024 Olympics. She is speaking out after being stripped of her bronze medal at the 2024 Olympics in Paris, France. She's so pretty. In case you missed it, Jordan medaled in the women's floor final in gymnastics earlier this week. Jordan's U.S. Girl, I can't even read. Simone Biles won in the silver competition with Brazil's Rebecca Andrade taking home the gold. You guys remember, I don't know if you've seen like the little podium where Jordan and Simone and Andrade was all on the panel and Jordan and Simone bowed to her. It was such a special thing. Like these girls have such a camaraderie with their competition. It's all the spectators with all the drama, but I love their camaraderie. So initially, Jordan earned a 13.666 score for her routine, placing her behind Romanian gymnast Anna Barbasu. Hope I'm saying that right. But her score was increased to 13.766 upon appeal, placing her in the third position and earning her the bronze. As the Washington Post reports, the Romanian Federation filed its own appeal against Jordan's appeal, and the Olympics Court of Arbitration eventually decided that Jordan's appeal was filed after the 1 minute deadline. Y'all think that's real or that's something that they made up? Stipulated to request an inquiry, effectively reversing her win and awarding Anna with the bronze. Can y'all believe that? So let's just stop right there. So Jordan initially won just by the scoring, just by everything. For her to file that appeal and win it on the scoring and challenge the scoring, right? That means that it was a mistake on the judges at first. So she files the appeal and wins, get them to score accordingly because what they said she did and took off for it, she did not do. They took off incorrectly, and now they are going to reverse it, saying that was filed after the 1 minute deadline stipulated to request an inquiry, effectively reversing her win and awarding Anna with the bronze. So never mind that you guys are wrong. Look, my voice is raising. I'm getting hot like this is my daughter. Never mind that you guys are wrong and you were wrong in the beginning and you took off incorrectly for her and her performance. Did y'all see her performance and how she left all that on the field? I'm a football fan, so y'all gonna hear me reference the field. But I'm just saying, you messed up her score, take off points that she didn't deserve. She files an appeal and get you to fix your issue and y'all make it right and then take it away from her because she filed it after the 1 minute deadline stipulated to request an inquiry, effectively reversing her win and awarding Anna. Y'all, your girl is hot as I'm reading this, child. I'm hot. I'm hot. Okay? I'm hot. I'm hot. Let me get to some comments. Let's take a break and get to some comments. Let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it, girl. I'm ready for it. Okay, let's get with that. So my girl, mental health, wellness, and self-care tips and talks. Y'all go subscribe to her channel if you have not. She wants to collab on a live, and I'm ready. Let's do it. I will be over on my Bama Girl channel after this later tonight. Just so you know, I'm trying to shift the YSL coverage over there. I got to for this algorithm stuff. So we're gonna get to it. Let's get to your next comment. That's crazy. She worked for it and won fair and square, in my opinion. She absolutely did. She absolutely did. Like, she shouldn't have had to appeal in the first place, guys. She shouldn't have had to file an appeal in the first place. They had given her medal to this girl already and she didn't earn it. She shouldn't have had to file an appeal. She shouldn't have had to fight for her points. Like, I'm so y'all, I'm heated. I'm gonna have to calm myself down. I need to take a music break or something. We're gonna have to sing a song or something. Because as I read this and I'm processing it, because I'm doing this live with you guys, like, I'm heated. I'm heated because we have enough that we have to fight through and fight for here on our own ground, on our own soil. Let's just be real. Like, let's just be real. We're going to come all the way live with it, all the way real. Well, somewhat live because I ain't out of the camera yet, but you get what I'm saying. We have to fight enough. We have to fight more than enough. And so for her to be over there and go through the process of fighting for her points when they should have been taken away from her, and y'all make it right. And then these jokers have the nerve to file another appeal for what? You lost fair and square. You could not tell me that the Romanians knew this federation rule of the 1 minute thing. You're not going to tell me that they knew that. You're not going to tell me that they knew that. That's just not something that people know. Because if it was, that would have been challenged at the beginning, and you reverse it because of 1 minute. After her 1 minute deadline stipulated to request an inquiry, effectively reversing her win and awarding Anna with the bronze. So never mind that she outperformed her. Y'all, they would have to come to my door to get that reward. They would have to come to my door to get that bronze medal. Now, the US is appealing it. I gotta calm myself down, y'all. I may need to take me a drink, girl. I'm pissed. That ain't even my baby, y'all, and I'm upset. I'm upset. All right, so let's just keep going. The U.S. Olympic and Paralympic Committee said in a statement early today that it plans to appeal the decision, and now Jordan is speaking out as well. Look at this baby. Look at this form. Oh my goodness, y'all. I'm upset. I am taking this time and removing myself from social media for my mental health. Thank you, Jordan said in a statement posted to her Instagram story. I need to go and follow her. I want to cry. Update: Anna has also posted her own statement regarding the reversal of her Instagram story. Child, I don't even want to read it, but I'm going to read it. Sabrina, Jordan, my thoughts are with you. She wrote, I know what you're feeling. No, you don't, because I've been through the same. No, you haven't, but I know you'll come back stronger. That baby ain't coming back. She had already said that was her last, and I would not. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is deep. I hope from deep of my heart that at the next Olympics, all three of us will share the same podium. No, ma'am. This is my true dream. I'm sure it is, but you didn't earn it. This situation would not have existed if the persons in charge had respected the regulation. Absolutely. because you got points that you didn't deserve and they took away from her that she did deserve, and she had to file an appeal to get that corrected. And because she's 1 minute late, you have the nerve to, girl, you wouldn't get that medal if you got that. Let me stop. You two gonna get me. We athletes are not to be blamed. You are, because you could have taken your L, girl. The L that you had to take when she filed her appeal, you could have taken your L. I'm sorry. That's how I feel. And I may be speaking off of emotion because I'm hot. And that ain't right. Am I setting the right example? I'm coming back to the chat soon. And the hate directed to us is painful. Girl, I can't even read no more. That's it for me. I can't even read no more. I tried. Clearly, a reporter is not what I aspire to be because we are supposed to be neutral and I can't do it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Jordan. I am so sorry, Jordan Childs. Y'all correct me if I am getting this wrong, but my understanding is they incorrectly took off points, something about the box. Listen, I was over there in track and field. That's really all I wanted to see. um like that's my jam. And I watched some of the gymnastic stuff, but a lot of it was on replay. I'll be honest with you. Time was challenging for me. We were celebrating my aunt, and I was kind of in a lockdown of wagon train and gun smoke marathons with my auntie as I was spending time with her for her birthday. So yeah, anyway. Mm, mm, mm. Let's check the comments. She was so graceful. I would have gotten banned from all my social media platform. From girl, honey, I'm serious. Like, am I reading this wrong? Like, I'm heated, y'all. Like, I'm flushed. I'm flushed because she shouldn't have had to file an appeal. She shouldn't have even had to file an appeal. Let's just kind of start there. They incorrectly scored her. She filed an appeal to get them to correctly score her, which basically gave her the points that she needed. You're going to tell me that these people that are judging the Olympics don't know what they're doing? Like, are we just going to like act like they don't know what they're doing? Like, we just going to act like that? Like, this wasn't a high school gymnastics competition. This was the freaking Olympics. So which is it? Did you have inexperienced judgers there? Judgers, is that a word? I'm sorry. It could be, it could not be. I challenge Webster all the time. Just roll with me, okay? I don't know who Webster is. I speak how I want to. If I can find a conspiracy theory in this country, child, I'll find it. Anyway, like, seriously though. So she get her points. She gets the medal. And they file an appeal. And not because her scoring was wrong, not because the judges were incorrect, not because they found another flaw, but because she was 1 minute late. Sir, ma'am, was she not competing? Like, when was she supposed to do this? 1 minute late, you reverse it? It's so wrong. It's so wrong. It's so wrong. I'm going to stand 10 toes down on that. It's wrong. And I'm gonna move on. I gotta move on. I gotta move on to the next topic. Child, what am I gonna pull up? Because I'm upset. We have to fight so much. We have to fight so much. We have to fight so much, man. Like, we can't help that we're just great. Like, we just can't help that. We just can't help that we can't help it. It's God-given talent. It's raw talent. It's hard work. It's like we put in that work. Like, are we gonna talk about what they did with the tracks with Shakara? Am I saying her name correctly? Um, like to make her walk a mile to get into the entrance on her on competition day. Like y'all closed the entrance. You gonna tell me you didn't know? Girl, let me tell you something. Y'all better not go back over to Paris for no Olympics no more. Look at me. I'm ready to boycott. Y'all know what they did with Kelly Rowland over there. Like they don't want us over there. Let me stop. I mean, they don't really want us here either. So there's that. Child, I may have to move on off of YouTube with my commentary when I get heated about my people because I don't know if I'm. I mean, I just gotta say it though. I just gotta say it though. You know, we gotta fight against us. We gotta fight against what we have going on over here, and we have to fight against regulatory processes in a world competition on a world stage. Like, come on, people. They wouldn't get that medal, dog. They wouldn't get that medal. I'm sorry. They wouldn't get it back. They would not get it back. I would not be able to give it back. I just couldn't. I just couldn't. I'm sorry, Boom. Jordan Childs, I'm sorry, baby. When my energy gets real, when I get myself settled here, then I'm going to go into the prayer closet just about the whole situation. But I can't do it now. God may be like, girl, listen, I'm going to need you to regroup and come back tomorrow. I can't even deal with you today. But it's wrong, y'all. It's wrong. And I mean, I don't even know. It's exhausting, really. But we shine. We kicked BUT over there. Our melanated skin represented well. But this right here, what they did with our girl, it ain't right, y'all. It ain't right. I'm going to stand on it. I just got to. So let's move on. Let us move on because I'll be here all day. Because how many times have I said I am ticked? I'm ticked. Let's get into Braxton's family values, y'all. Did you watch it? It was so good. 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 Oh, so what did I love about I need to coin that statement? Girl, what statement? Which statement before I get into it? Which statement, girl? Help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Which statement? Which statement? And y'all need to go back and listen to the beginning of this live because I'm doing a competition here. There's some money and some prizes in for you. Oh, the Braxton's just great. It was. It was. Tell me what statement, ma'am. The Braxton's was so good, y'all. Like, it was so good. I cried. I don't know if y'all can tell. Child was crying in my review, but I was like, y'all gonna have to get this work, honey. I ain't gonna be able to edit all this stuff out because I'm in an emotional space and I'll be here to Labor Day. And that was real talk. Like, I'll be here all day trying to edit and clean this up. And oh, okay. So can I just say that I just love Trina and her husband, Vaughn. And if you follow Trina and kind of know her history and what she went through with Gabe, Lord rest his soul, and her whole history, and then dating guys who look like us, and you know, people were skeptical, but Vaughn is so good for her, and to see them still doing well and just kind of you can tell that they are just really comfortable. Like this wasn't like scripted or something for the show or whatever. Like just the genuine, authentic. I loved it. I love seeing them together. I love that they're still together. And I love how he supports her. Y'all, it really, really broke my heart when Trina started talking about her sister Tracy. I pray I don't get like emotional on this live because grief is hard, y'all. Grief is so hard, and I know that we know that, but I mean, I was recently impacted in a way that I never expected. And so I feel them on this journey so much that child, I may be crying through the whole season. But when Trina was talking about Tracy's son, um, I can't think of his name right now. Don't do me like that. But when she was talking about his her son and how you have to check on them because they go into these dark spaces, um they don't communicate, people start drawing in themselves, and this is how they get in trouble. And that was his best friend, his mom, in his 20s, young as he was, to lose her, knowing the big presence that Tracy had and how fun she was and just vibrant, her spirit. I mean, I kept calling Trina Tracy during the whole kind of review. But just like Tracy Braxton was larger than life. So I can only imagine how they expected for her to pull through this thing because she's a warrior, just a warrior up and down. Um and for it to end that way, ooh, honey, my heart was breaking. And I love that they're bringing it back and really, really talking about it. How the grief has separated them for the most part. Like when Tony said that grief will either bring you together or pull you apart. Like I felt that because when your heart is breaking and you're in pain and like in a normal kind of situation, in relationships, it's kind of an ebb and flow, right? I may be hurting and you're not, so you can lift me up and pour into me. You may be hurting and I'm not, I'm in a good space to lift you up and pour into you and absorb some of the pain and kind of help get you through. But when you both are hurting and impacted by someone that you love so much, like sibling bonds, they say sibling bonds are stronger than parent bonds. And I mean, me and my sister have our issues, but we still, like we're still sisters at the end of the day. I'm gonna let that sit there. But me and my brother, child, we got the same head sometimes. So for both of you to be hurting and in that space, and I can see why it would separate, because what are you going to do? Like, what can you give when you don't even have anything to give? So I love that they were transparent on that. Uh, yes, that is right. Grief is so hard, especially when estrangement has separated the family. You're right. I'm going to leave that comment up there. Um, I just love that they're bringing this to talk about it, like to bring it out there and to share that piece of it in the hopes that it may help people to be more understanding when that experience. Y'all, I thank God for my family. I'm not going to front with you. Listen, I lost my uncle 2 years ago. One of arguably one of the most important people in my life. And I withdrew. Um, I mean, I probably literally cried for my uncle every day for an entire year. I kid you not, y'all. So, like that kind of pain, um, when, you know, love experiences for me are very rare. It's really connected to most of my family and closest friends. I don't get out there like that, right? So to have my world shaken up like that, it was hard. So, I mean, like one of the hardest experiences I've ever experienced. So I was just grateful for her kind of speaking on that because we know how close these sisters can be. And we also know that they had like some issues and some things going on, some friction, I'll call it that. Some friction that had even spilled into social media and things. And I'm going to choose my words carefully because I want to respect the space that they're in. And everybody kind of knows what was going on with the Braxtons. So then to kind of be hit with that piece, I understand why it's taken so long to come back to television. I also understand why they're coming back to television. And I am grateful for the experience. I'm grateful for their bravery. I meant that when I said that in my review. Like, it's such a beautiful thing, and I'm just hoping this is a good season. I hope this is a good season, without all the drama. I'm just gonna go ahead and put it out there, girl. Tamar, I think, is a friend of the show. I hope she contributes, and I'm gonna leave that there. Okay, I'm just gonna leave that there. So the other thing that I loved, was when Trina and Tawanda got together. They were just kind of so in sync and so comfortable, like when they met for lunch or brunch or something. And I'm not going in sequence, y'all. I'm just kind of like touching on the things that I really enjoyed about this episode, right? Um, but when they got together, it was so comfortable. It was just like two friends, really, who are also sisters, and that's the way it's supposed to be. I love that for them. I love that they're both in Atlanta, so they're closer. It didn't separate the two of them because we know that Trina always advocated for Tracy and she always did her best to try to understand her. Like I saw that in their seasons. She kind of always stood by her sister and tried to advocate for peace. And Tawanda is kind of in the middle. She doesn't, Tawanda, even though Tony is the oldest, I think Tawanda acts like she's the oldest sister. So Tawanda has always kind of been a stable presence for me. So to see them kind of together in a good space and loving on each other and just really having a good time, I absolutely loved it. Baby, Tawanda was rocking that ball head. You hear me? She was rocking that head, baby. Like, and I thought it was so funny when she said, Natrine, we all said that we was gonna cut our hair and for Tracy. And you did. Trina was like, my face too round. I got mommy's face. I couldn't do it. Um, but I love that. And I love when Trina looked at her and she said that Tracy's son, why can't I think of his name? um her son was on her mind, and Tawanda immediate was like, you want me to call him? She was like, yes. And they called him and he picked up, and they were just talking to him. They agreed to therapy and that kind of thing, but just the quick action, the ease of it all, it told me that it was really genuine and they're trying to keep a pulse on him. I thought it was so funny when they was like, your locks look good. Who did your hair? And his wife did it, was soon to be ex-wife. And they both fell out. And I fell out at the same time, like, wait a minute, what? He was like, she don't know. She say she want a divorce, she filed. I'm just kind of here going through the process. Cause he is going through the process of this grieving thing with his mom. But their reaction to her braiding his hair and doing his hair was the same reaction that I had, and I thought it was so funny. So the next scene that I love was when they were all at dinner. And if you watch them at dinner, they would have some heavy points where it would get kind of emotional and thick, and somebody would say something crazy and they all bust out laughing. Like, I think that's why I enjoy them so much, because it's just like a real it's real and it's authentic, and you can't script that stuff. Um when Tony had her breaking point when she was talking about her health, and y'all, we really need to lift Tony up, like really, really lift Tony Braxton up, the living, breathing legend, Tony Braxton. Because if that baby has a heart attack, she won't survive it. And she's dealing with the lupus and she's dealing with her things and she's trying to keep her health together, but I felt her vulnerability and her pain and the weight that she has on her shoulders with her boys and taking care of her boys and having to live in fear every day and watch over your health like the way that she has to watch over her health. um Honey, I felt that. Kevin, little Kevin, thank you. Little Kevin, thank you, thank you, thank you. um Child, me in my brain. But now I lost my train of thought. Okay, so back to Tony. So they were kind of like, because Tony broke down and we don't see Tony get emotional. We don't see her in that space really. Um, and so they were like praying over her, and Tawanda was speaking very authoritatively. Like, you call that demon out and you send it, where it needs to. Like, I mean, she was speaking on on her sister's behalf on whatever fear it was that was controlling her. Like, and I get what she was communicating to her. Like, you can't stay in that space because that space doesn't serve you. And having faith is the opposite of fear. Like, if you are a believer, then you are a believer, right? And if you have faith, then you have faith. And so you contradict yourself when you are speaking fear into a situation, because that means, translatively, y'all know I make up words. I'm always going to defy Webster. We don't know who that man is. So, but figuratively, you're kind of canceling it out, right? You're canceling out your faith, because if you are fearful, then how do you justify believing that everything will work out? You can't do both. And so that's what she was kind of like conveying to her, and it was very authoritative, and she was speaking and she was pointing, and Tony says, "Did you just point to my vagina?" Oh my goodness, I cracked up and I needed it because we were talking about the Tracy situation. They're showing clips of her um just not even looking like Tracy. Like, if you've ever seen someone go from that CA word, it's one of the most horrible experiences. It's the way my mother left. It's horrible, right? It's like, oof, horrible. So we're seeing that, and we're seeing Tracy in a way that we've never seen her. The heartstrings are definitely there. They were there for me. So it's kind of like this emotional ride. And when she says that, everybody busts out laughing. Then they get into like, you ain't using it. I loved it. So the comedic breaks that we got, I absolutely love that. Um, they asked Tony, was she single? And she's like, I feel that I am. Girl, what kind of answer is that? Are you single or not? So, she talks about she was engaged, then not engaged, that she was in a relationship, then not in a relationship. Yeah, it's just a bit much for her, but I guess her and Birdman are still seeing each other. Child, I don't know. I don't know. She feels like she's single. Does the other person feel like you're single? Is there miscommunication there, Miss Tony Braxton? I love it, girl, because I be in them great spaces too. But love, love, love that. Uh I understood Mama Braxton when she said she was most concerned about Trina. You can see the pain. I mean, I almost feel like she's bloated with it, like the pain. And I won't even go down that road of, you know, where my mind goes to in absorbing pain and the pain from these jokers that people be dealing with or whatever. I'm just going to spare y'all the details on that. I am. I'm gonna spare y'all the details on that. But you can see the pain in Trina. You can see her holding it back. You can hear it in her voice. You can hear it in her tone. Um, and to me, that speaks to a lot of strength for her. She starts to cry at this dinner. And she's like, no, 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 I'm not crying. And so they start kind of like gravitating to her. It's almost like this family is functioning in a reactionary state, like they're trying to keep their equilibrium kind of balanced and stay on kilter. But the minute that they see someone is hurting, they're going, they're coming. And I think it was Tamar that said, "Oh no, we don't touch Trina when she's crying," you know. And Tamar says something about is that cheese, and Trina got defensive about what was on her plate, like don't eat her food, like in the middle of this tearful thing. And again, I'm laughing with them. Um, so I thought that that was cute, and I love that Miss Evelyn has like a post on Trina, and she's most concerned about her because Trina was there even up until Tracy took her last breath, and I know that has to be huge. And to not have her like her family unit in that process, I know that also must have to be huge. So again, applauding her for her bravery. And just them coming forward because it's been a couple years, right? And you can still see the pain. So I loved it. Loved it. They get to at the dinner, they also brought up about little Kevin going through his divorce. And I thought that was interesting because Tamar says she spends a lot of time with him, see him all the time, go to dinner with him and all of that kind of stuff. And he hadn't mentioned it. I also get why he may not have mentioned it if his wife is braiding his hair and doing his hair. No telling what else they doing, child. We don't know. You know these young people, child. Just stay out of it. I don't know. I do hope that they make it through. Not make it through in trauma and misery and that kind of thing, but I do hope that they really make it through. I know that they have a child, and so hopefully there's some guidance and some grace there. I don't really know what they're experiencing, so I'm not going to advocate for anyone to stay in something unhealthy. But if I'm honest, just for the family unit and the legacy of our girl, last call, Miss Tracy Braxton, I would like to see her little family stay together and keep building. That's just me. Um, that's what I hope to see. So we get to Tony's house, right? Where they are kind of gonna do the therapy thing. There was not anything that I didn't love about this episode. So we get there and they're preparing kind of like the favorite meals. And I like look, I was finna say Tracy, y'all. Trina and her mom in the kitchen. Tony, of course, getting glammed up. So Tony and Tawanda is having this conversation. Y'all, didn't Tawanda look good in that green? Did you see her in that green dress with the green nails? Ugh, Divine, she looks so good. Listen, I'm gonna give a sister some love on her looks anytime. Anytime that I can lift another sister up, I am gonna do that. I appreciate our beauty. And I'm just as straight as they come. Girl, straight as an iron board. Trust me. But she looked good. Tawanda looked good. So she checked in with Tony just to kind of see how she was feeling, if she's getting ready and that kind of thing. Something that Tony said before she gets into the cliche, the corny part of it. But when she said it's kind of like um trying to live your life and be happy when your heart is broken. I felt that. She also went into some of the unbreak my heart thing. I kind of missed that because they started laughing and I missed it a little bit. And but when she said that, like, that's really what it feels like, like it put it into perspective for me, you know, girl, y'all can have that heartbreak stuff, okay? Have it. Put it in a bowl, keep it, mail it off, send it to somebody else. That heartbreak stuff is some serious, serious thing. And when she said showing up and trying to be happy and live your life and do your thing when your heart is broken about her sister, girl, I was crying again, I think. I did edit out my sniffles in that review, child. I did edit them out for y'all, but it was a mess for me. I was like, "Oh my goodness, Tony, that was really good." So they get to the therapist, like the therapist is there, well, the coach or whatever. I'm not sure if she's quite a therapist, but I did like her style. Um I like that she says she's not into pitting people against each other. Like she's really on the tip of trying to help them work it through, and on a by no means necessary will there be any form of negativity, whatever. They're going to get through it. I loved her style. And it kind of felt like she was countering some of the therapeutic sessions we've seen with them on the show. Like when she was saying what she will not tolerate or she will not do, it almost seemed like she was kind of speaking to a counter to the experiences that we've seen. Um, and I found it interesting that Mikey wasn't there, their brother, which I know he also lost a daughter, so it could be too much for him, but they didn't even mention Mikey. And I would just like to know how Mikey is doing. Um, Unbreak My Heart. Yes, ma'am. I may need to listen to that again. That was the jam. But I found it interesting that Mikey wasn't there. I love that their dad showed up. Y'all, is it me or just does he seem to be like he had his name tag or something on? Like their dad is really kind of eccentric. I'm just gonna say that because I don't want to speak anything, I don't even want anything to be perceived that way, that is negative or anything like that. But he does seem, I'll say this, a bit childlike, like, and that may be part of his charm, but I just kind of get that from him. But I was glad to see that he was there, and little Kevin was there. Excuse me. I would like to know where Mikey is, just kind of like a check-in. See, brothers and sisters, let us know, how is Mikey doing. We just like to know. That one brother that you guys have that grew up with all you sisters, honey, shout out to him, baby. And he grew up to be a nurse. Isn't that interesting? um we're doing this work, but we're doing it in love. Hate cannot reside here. Yes, ma'am. I love when you always say that. You always, you have this, that love not hate. Like I love, absolutely love that. Because it's so true. And when it's spoken or you see it, it's powerful. It's almost like a reminder, even if you're not like, we have our days, but it's kind of like a little gut check kind of thing, if you will. I love when you say that. Love that piece. Um, so what I found interesting about their therapy session, when they got there, everybody was like already, they wanted to be seated. Like, we want to be seated and in place. Like, we gotta be, like, company is coming. We ready. And they get ready to start the session and nobody's talking. Like nobody's talking. They don't even know what to say. And she starts with Trina, because Trina is who calls. So she was like, "Look, can we start with you?" And Trina's like, "Can I not go first? Like, I don't even know if I'm ready." I don't think that we give enough weight to how hard it is to begin to talk about your pain, especially in a dynamic with all of your family, because part of your pain may be a result of something that somebody has done. And that's some of the reason why people don't talk about it. And they just kind of sweep things under the rug. Like, I think that could almost be like a cultural thing, because it's definitely something that I've experienced in my family. And even as a teenager, it was something that I noticed, and, I didn't like it. Because for one thing, if you think about your own human experience, it's never really swept away. Like, it's swept under the rug, and you get past it because it's easier, and it's so much easier to just love and get into the space, right? And want to stay in that space. But the person who's absorbing it and kind of having to stifle their feelings and kind of push that down in the effort of the sweeping under the rug theme, it's not good. It's not healthy. It's so much more harmful. And the rug will eventually come off. And so I understood why there were like crickets chirping because we've seen their therapy sessions. It's been the lady, I forget her name. Um, they were on Ayanna Vincent, could never forget her name, right? But when the offenses start to come to the table that have been hurtful, oh my goodness. And Miss Tamar had a lot, and I'm not going to put everything there, but she has been challenged with taking ownership. And now that we've heard this narcissistic kind of word term thrown around so much and used so much, it could or could not apply there, but it would just turn to okay, let me not do that because I don't want to do that to her. I try to have that spin, but or try not to have that spin. But I did understand why no one was speaking. I love that they were showing that. I would love to see them kind of show us how to unpack those things and deal with the hurt and deal with the pain and deal with the trauma or the offenses and all of those things in an effort to kind of move forward in a healthy space. I don't even know. Well, I mean, I do know because I've had some experiences, but it took work. It took work and it's one or two, for them to have kind of like a lifetime of just stuff. That was some of the things that was going on with Tracy and her stuff, and so I know that all of that is kind of on top of it because they didn't really deal with Tracy's grievances. It was kind of the push things under the rug situation and love for my sisters and missing my sisters and missing the dynamic and the fun and the love that they have. And I can only imagine how much they miss it because hell, I missed it. And I'm not even a part of the family. I was just so glad to see them back on the screen, and get this dynamic that they all have that they fight for, but they got to get through the unpacking of the junk and kind of clean it out. And girl, I'm looking forward to seeing it, but I'm not looking forward to seeing it, right? Because I know that it's going to be a lot on top of the Tracy thing. But I thought that that was very important. And I love that they showed that, just to see them all with the birds chirping. And Tony did try a little bit. Like she did try and she was honest. Like she doesn't even know where to start or what to say. And, it's kind of hard because you are going to guard your tongue because everybody's already hurting and everything is so fragile. And you wouldn't want to be that thing to kind of make it break. Like who wants that on their shoulders, right? So, I think that that's something that exists in a lot of family dynamics, just wanting to focus on the love and getting to the good times and the bonds and the fun and the sharing and all the great things that makes family so amazing and the experiences so amazing. Um, Not thinking about the person that has been harmed or inflicted, what they're having to kind of stifle, um, and not express, kind of taking one under the chin, so to speak, or taking one for the team. It never really works. It eventually drives a bigger wedge, in my opinion. So I love that they're talking about that because this piece, if I was to give my opinion, um, is one of the reasons why we see that S number, that S side word, that self inflicting terminology. Y'all read between the lines. I think that's some of the reason why it's so prevalent and it's reached younger and younger and younger generations, like children that can't deal. And if you're in a space to where one, you're hurting, you're harmed, you know, um, regardless of the degree of it or whether someone may or may not, believe in the degree in which you state that you are suffering from that infliction, right? Um, because some people can take more. Some things don't, they don't affect the next person like they may affect person A. It just don't. Um, Person B may be in denial and in their own kind of thing where they don't even allow themselves to feel. And person A may be in a space where they allow themselves to feel everything. Like, you just cannot put a stamp on another person's human experience. We're just too complex. That's just my opinion. We're just too complex. Um, and it's too many varying degrees. And I don't think anyone has authority to tell another person how they should or should not feel about a situation. It's just not your place, right? Um, so you get in that space and you don't want to be judged. You don't want to be, ridiculed. You don't want to be made to feel worse. You don't want to be kind of coddled. You want to be heard. You want to be supported. You want to feel like you have a voice. And by having someone exist in a space where they're in a sweeping it under the rug dynamic, you're essentially stealing that person's voice and also setting a blueprint how they deal with other offenses. And we're human. It's so many offenses that you can take. So I want to see us as a community kind of get away from it all, the sweep it under the rug thing, and just kind of have these conversations. And that may be easier said than done. I get that. I know that. Child, don't I know it? Because I can have an emotional response as well. So I know how hard it may be to get to me when I'm hurting or when I'm really firm about a thing. I've gotten better with it, but it has not been easy. It's taken a lot of work. So, that's part of some of the, I don't want to say conversations, but definitely the environment that I want to foster. At the same time, with this situation, we are getting a real life view on what that looks like when the bow breaks. Because what happened with Tracy, I think that's the thing of the bow breaking. And it was all so fragile. And for this family to have so much love and support, and I mean, like, they're a beautiful group. I think they don't give themselves enough credit for how hard they fight for each other. And I know how hard it must be to kind of be on public display of everybody giving their opinions and on their pedestals and high horses and all that thing. You know how we like to judge and throw our 2 cents in there and tell people how to run their lives and what they should do. I'm just saying. I like that they are kind of giving us a real view of what that looks like. And Tracy, I'm sorry, Trina is a real life person that represents the absorption of it all. That baby's so fragile. And I call her a baby. We're the same age, I'm sure. Um, so that's just a term that I use. I'm a Southern girl, okay? But she's fragile and you can see it. And I'm so grateful that she has Vaughn. And I love that they are talking about it. And I love that they introduce the topic of just kind of sweeping things under the rug. So I am looking forward to next Friday's episode, y'all. Looking forward to it. I can't wait to see it. I'm looking forward to what other experiences we will have as we kind of watch them navigate this space. Um, Tracy, with this is the last thing that had me cracking up. Y'all, I was in such a kind of like an emotional roller coaster. I mean, like a light emotional roller coaster. But when I would get to where I would be like really like in tears a little bit, they would do something that was really funny that would make me crack up. So this was the last thing. They talked about Tracy and the hummingbirds and how she loved hummingbirds. And I thought that that was so cute and funny at the same time because Tracy is this vibrant, larger than life personality. And so hummingbirds are really fragile and so for her to kind of have that little connection, I thought that that was so cute. They show a glimpse of Tracy doing that like kick dancing thing that she was doing when they were out on that retreat and making up the songs, and they would break up into a song about anything. I would love to see their childhood. I know that they had a blast. But her and the hummingbirds, and they each have kind of like a, I'm just gonna say ornament. It's not Christmas. That's not what it is. It's the thing that goes on a necklace. You know, pendant. Thank you. Pendant, pendant, pendant. So they each have this thing, and Tracy asked them to take it wherever they are so that she could continue her journey. Our Tracy. Mm-mm-mm-mm. It's amazing how you can connect to people that you never met, but I love that. I love that she had 5 hummingbird tattoos or whatever for all the sisters. Y'all be forgetting about Mikey, but I guess he didn't need a hummingbird. Y'all could have given him an eagle or something. I'm just kidding. I have a concern about Mikey. But when Trina said, and I take it everywhere I go, she said it, and see, I have it right here. It's around my neck, and I have it, and I take it everywhere I go, except when I do. Excuse me, y'all. Oh my goodness, it was so funny. When she said, except when I do my husband's stuff, my stuff with my husband, I call it horizontal poking so I can keep things like, PG. She didn't think Tracy wanted to be there for that. It was so cute. It's so funny. That is something that I would do. Y'all, I wear my rosary often. But there are some places that, and I'm not saying that in that moment, but there are some places that I don't wear my rosary because I'm like, I don't know if Mother Mary want to kind of, that's probably the time that I do need to have them. But the fact that she is conscious enough, like, to me, it shows how conscious she is that her sister is with her. Like, she's literally carrying her with her. She feels that way. She's right there with her. So when she has to make that separation, like closing the door, I'm sorry, girl, I gotta leave you out. I gotta have some time with my husband. I thought that was so funny and also so cute. And I needed that comedy kind of break. So kudos to the Braxtons for giving us all the love, all the joy, all the tough moments, and giving us a little comedic break somewhere in there with their antics and their silliness that will kind of help us get through this thing with them. I may be being a little bit more dramatic than I need to be because it is a TV show, but I feel like we're going through this thing with them and I'm loving the experience. So that is the Braxtons. What y'all think? Oh, I love you too. I love you down, girl. I do. And we're gonna have to get together on this collaboration live thing. I love to do that. So we'll get together on that. Definitely. But that was the recap for the Braxtons. What did you think? Let's see. You getting me laughing, trying not to cry. I say push and pull. We all do not crave that. Yes, ma'am. I like that too. I like that. Um, I like that. I like that. So yeah, that was the Brysons, y'all. It was good. It was good, good, good. I'm excited, happy they're back. And that's just kind of like a recap. So before I get over into Ruthless, I'm gonna pin this comment, y'all, because I am struggling. Well, not really struggling. Let me just not say that. I'm not even gonna put that out there because that's not what's happening. I am a little overzealous when it comes to work. I understand that about myself. I understand that. That's just who I am. That's just my makeup, right? Watching things very closely with this channel. And I noticed that when I cover my YSL trial coverage kind of stuff, everything kind of gravitates to that. And then my TV show stuff kind of drops a little bit. Like, I can visually see what the algorithm is struggling with, doing with my channel. And I love the experience because it's giving me what I need, right? Also, have had some spiritual experiences and some things in reference to the second channel. And so the election coverage and oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. The election coverage and getting us out there to vote and some of the things that I'm noticing, and it's a lot of commentary that I want to give. It's a lot of discussions that I think we need to have. Well, that sounded a little, I don't know. Let me rephrase that. There are a lot of discussions that I want to open up, that I want to introduce, that I think would be beneficial for us as a community. And y'all, I can go deep, 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 or I can keep it shallow and silly and fun. Like my personality is that's just what it is, right? So, with the TV reviews and the topics that we cover and the things that I kind of get into with that, and then I get into the YSL case and the corruption and the correction, and it's fleshing out so many things with like employment and laws, and it's just fleshing out so many things that I would love to bring to the community. And I'm covering the trial. Like, I think it's so interesting. So, in taking all of that in, and what my audience, who is just here to kind of check out what we got going on TV, have some fun, like commentary, get some laughs in, and that kind of thing, it doesn't really fit. And that piece and all of that allows me to get into this community work kind of stuff, and really, really put everything I have into this election and getting our young voters out. Like, there's a lot that I want to talk about. I mean, it's just a lot. Like, m- marijuana use, can I say that? I can say that. The effects of that, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, the popping pills of it all, and some of the stuff that the young kids are like turned on to, it's just a lot, right? And so it doesn't really fit over here. um, there are some other things that were, like the spiritual warfare of it all and the exposure of different things. And so we're kind of carving some things out, right? So the YSL and all of that piece, um, crime against us, Diddy crimes, as I call them, real life things that our communities are experiencing, that I think if we begin talking and really getting into some things, even if it's just one little small group, we can make headway, right? Um, and so I want to capture some of the younger audiences, and I want to capture that age group. And I also want to give this channel all the attention that it deserves and not confuse the two. Like, if you're here for this type of content, I don't want you to have to sift through and find what you want, right? And so this YSL stuff and all of that lane is it's a chunk too. And so I'm separating it. So it's moving over to Bama Girl 2.0. And if you haven't subscribed, please, please, please go ahead and subscribe. I'll be over there later tonight, and we're going to get into some of this YSL stuff. I thought it best not to do it on this channel because, again, I'm confusing the algorithm a little bit, right? So I just wanted to kind of give that break in there, and let you guys kind of know what we're doing. I talked about it at the beginning, and before we get into Ruthless, girl, child, we're going to get into Ruthless. Before we get into Ruthless, I kind of wanted to kind of throw that out there, and that's why that little banner is out there. I have the channel in the comments. You could just scroll up and get the link. I've commented on some of the people that kind of watch and are in that trial stuff. Trial is a mess. And kind of let them know what I have going on. I had thought about streaming it over here on Monday, but it's court goes on all day, and the algorithm is gonna pull all of those people. And then, on Tuesday they find out I'll be over here in Silly Land watching Big Brother and Sorority Life or whatever the hell I be doing, child. So I think this channel is set up where I like it. I think we have a good foundation. We got some good content going. The community is thriving. We're communicating. We're loving on each other. It's exactly what I want. We're just going to keep going further, right? I want to be able to break out weekly and kind of talk about, do a deep dive in some of these shows and get into some other things that kind of keep us in that lane, building off of the TV stuff that we're seeing. Is so much that can be gleaned from that. And this trial stuff and court and, the man who unalived the lady, you know, um, Sandra Massey, that situation. Like, I'm into that too. And it doesn't quite fit over here. And there's so much that we can glean from just in all of that. So there's a separation. I'll be over there later tonight, and then the court will be streaming from that channel. I'm not going to stream it on this channel. I'm just hoping that the people that have gravitated to me from that coverage will kind of glide their way over there too. But it's still very new. So I think it's a safe space. I just wanted to put that out there. Go back and listen to Basketball Wives. There's a little fun piece in there that you won't catch. So you need to comment and put the timestamp if you want to be entered into this prize and money situation that I got going on. That will help me get the hours up that I need. I'm transparent, y'all. And by me sharing some of this stuff, it can help anybody. So that's the way I roll. And I'm giving back to you, right? It's some good stuff that you'll get from that. And then having someone comment with your referral, like having someone else subscribe and put your name down there, it gives you another kind of point, right? So I'm going to be tallying up the points, and we're going to be giving out some cash and some gift stacks connected to some of the other lanes that I have going that you guys just don't know about. And that's kind of like the bottom tier of it, and we're just going to kind of keep it moving, but we're kind of starting there. So I kind of talked about that a little bit. And all right, so that's Braxton's. Let's get into Ruthless, y'all. Have you watched Ruthless? I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hang. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to hang, y'all. Well, child, Ruthless is dark, but it's good. It may be too dark for me, y'all. Y'all know I get a little squirmish, okay? But this girl, Ruth, she gotta be the hardest working woman in TV. She is dealing with a lot. Um, she got the highest over there with his crazy self. He's also weak. He's a leader in anything unchristian like. Let me say that, because I still don't really know what's appropriate and not appropriate, to say, and I'm trying to use my words carefully. But how people have someone believing that they're the Messiah. He's on that tip. And they're on this compound, and all 3 episodes have loaded. I've done all the reviews on it, but the third episode, it kind of started getting into the ooh. I know y'all lying to me. I gotta review this. Girl. I'm reviewing it though. I am reviewing it, and it's a good challenge for me. So she's pregnant. She also has a daughter there. And so she's pregnant by him. There's another guy, Daikon, who is also a love interest of him. And so Daikon is competing with, and y'all, this is a very kind of, it would do you justice if you can handle it, right? If you can handle, because a lot of people checked out of Ruthless because it got a little bit too dark. But I'm going to tell you why I think it's important and why I'm sticking with it in just a moment. But just know that this is not a detailed dive into it, because it's a lot that goes on this show. But just kind of like in a synopsis and giving Ruth her flowers as this lady who may be hard to like a lot of times, but I get her, I get her. She is pregnant with the highest child. I'm not really sure if it's his or if it's Daikon, because she seduced Daikon as well on a season or two before to kind of get what she wanted out of him. So she could be pregnant by him. That's a conspiracy theory that I'm introducing here. I don't know if it's in the script. I missed the entire last season of it. So I'm picking up this season for review and content. And I think it'll be fun to review it. We'll see if I'll stick with it. But they're in competition with the highest, and she has her feminine wiles and her body and her beauty that Daikon really can't compete with enough to kind of snuff her out, right? But Ruth has a daughter there also, Callie. And if you watch the Oval, the son on the Oval, Richard's son, y'all know I'm terrible with names, but these people came in with Ruth and she took Callie and brought her to the people. So this is kind of like a crossover from the Oval where Ruth left and joined these people on this compound and took Callie with her. Well, she has since learned that this place is not the best place, and they are grooming these kids to start being trafficked, really. But I mean, that's the gist of it. But right now they have them in complete submission and where they are willing to live in demise for the Raku, which is who they serve, the God that they serve. So um the FBI is knocking at the door. The cartel is knocking at the door. They have killed a federal agent somewhere in there, or they may think that they have killed the agent and the FBI actually has the agent, but that's the understanding. They're trying to negotiate and infiltrate their way in, and it's heated. Like it's at the threshold, right? It's at the threshold where everything is supposed to blow. This is like the third episode into this season. Um, So if there is a successful attack, then they're all supposed to have this glorious death where they drink this potion. Where every all adults fight. He drinks the potion. He will leave, of course, the glorious thing, and finally be one with the Raku. The children will also drink it, and they're gone. And her daughter, it's another lady's daughter there, and that's what she's fighting for, to be able to get herself and her daughter out of there. And she will do any and everything necessary to do that. She is pretty smart. She's always staying a couple steps ahead. She's got to think really fast. She also has to give this man her body and enjoy it. She has to give this man her body with Daikon and enjoy it on camera, on screen, or, whatever. It doesn't get into a lot of the physical, like the visual pieces of it, which I definitely appreciate, but it gives you just enough to know what's going on. And it gives you just enough to not leave anything to guessing, right? So, and he has some deviant kind of things that go on with him. He like men, women, and, whatever. So it's a lot to take in. But I like her character because it's speaking to the depths of what a woman will go through to save her child, despite her being the reason why they're in this situation. And it's a couple women that are in the same situation. So they kind of have this kind of little secret alliance going on where, hey, Jay, they, hey, Jay, good to see you, girl. They have this kind of secret alliance kind of going on to kind of overthrow things, and it had just happened, but he fought back. So um it's kind of like a reset with less members. It's a lot that goes on with this show. I won't even recommend, I can't even say, geez, how can I put this? You need a strong spiritual foundation if you're gonna be watching over there in Ruthless, honey, because there's some representation that go on there that can, get your mind to wondering. And I wouldn't advise I'm just not going to advise anybody that. But this is why I like it, and I like that they're bringing this. They have brought this show to the forefront because if you search, I don't even want to say this name because the spirit was so dark, y'all. But it's real life stuff. People really, really gravitate to this kind of situation. So what we are seeing in Ruthless, this just went down in Atlanta. I just started doing them, girl. Like I'm just getting back into them. And I'm gonna get to your comments too, Jay, just in a moment too. Um, but this just kind of went down in Atlanta. If you search Carbon Nation, that's a safe name. If you search Carbon Nation on YouTube, you will see all the drama that went on with that. And this one guy who called himself the Messiah, you would not believe how many women and men were following him. And he brought that mess to Georgia, Fulton County to be exact, although I'm on Fulton County's neck with what they had been exposed of. Baby, they got him for life. And his trial was on display. There's a girl, Neek at Night. I like Neek at Night, Nique. I think that's her name. At Night, she covered it, and so that would be a good person to kind of go to. Now, don't take away from what you give me over here, but I like to look out for us. But um, he assaulted his members all the time on camera. They dealt with so much abuse. There are three of his wives. Did you hear me say three wives? Three of his wives that were still following him, shaved their heads, and like the mental wiping of it all and the control, you would be surprised at what people really gravitate to and how predators will prey on someone's brokenness and weakness and the depths that they will go to please flesh. The depths that people will go to please flesh, I don't want to call it insanity, but Lord have mercy, it's close to it. It's close to it. Um, and so that's one of the reasons why I'm watching it and kind of reviewing it. It's not the only reason. It can be entertaining. I'm still kind of on the fence about it, but I'm gonna stick through this season. Y'all know how I am. Once I commit to something, I gotta roll with it. That's just the way I was made. That's the military stuff in me. So I'm gonna do my best to stick to it. But I think that it's interesting that they're showing it because it's real, and people really do have these experiences. And even though it's just TV and a lot of it is a little bit grotesque and unbelievable, it's believable because we just watched it happen. So, dude is serving life now. Disgusting, disgusting human being. And I shouldn't even say that considering who I serve. I may need to repent about that because we're not supposed to pass judgment on people, but I'm just calling it like I see it. The depths, y'all. So I think Ruthless is child, I hate to give it the stamp. Just watch the reviews. I'm gonna take one for the team. But it's back. And I like it. It's right over there with the Oval and all of them people. And I like them kind of shows too. And I'll be all over the place with my TV child. So I'm in this thing with Ruthless. And I don't know if you guys have seen it, but it's a bit much. All right, let's go to the comments. So mental health, wellness, and self-care tips and talks. Oh my goodness, not the JJ. Wait a minute. Oh yeah, and Jonestown rendition. Not sure I can still. Girl, I don't even know who you're talking about. What's JJ Cole? I'm so tickled because I can't even tell you. Yes, you can, girl. It's a lot. It's a lot. I never watched Ruthless, but I wanted to support you. Oh, Jay. Girl, I miss you, girl. We miss these lives, honey. We got to figure out our time and stuff and stuff and stuff. Girl, I mean, I'm trying to keep it light. I'm trying to keep it light, and I don't know. I don't know. I can't tell nobody to watch it, but I got some people that enjoy it. But anyway, I'm trying to keep it light. Trying to keep it light. I miss catching your lives, girl. We gotta get. I spent that week with my family. Like I basically checked out of the real world for a week. My aunt turned 75. It's huge for her because my grandparents, neither one of them made it past 50, I believe, or somewhere early in that. Um, she has dementia, and sometimes she plays us on it. So I don't really know how far it is or how, whatever. You say you'll pass and you'll just listen to me. Girl, let's hope I hold on to it. Um, but she's ours. That's my golden girl. We spent a week. I spent a week. We had two like big parties and stuff for her. It was a big thing, but for her, that's my golden girl. We catch up. She only watches Wagon Train and Gunsmoke and stuff like that. That's really all this lady watches. She can watch it all day, every day. So I got sucked into some of those episodes and just kind of hanging out, and then, hanging out with family, and doing the things that family does when we're all together and kicking it and doing our thing and whatever. I just had absolutely no time to even watch TV. So reviews, it just didn't even happen. And I expected to have a day or two, not a whole week. So I am in catch up land. I'm almost caught up though. I just got to catch up on Big Brother and one other show, and I'll be straight. So I'll get my supporting views back out there because I enjoy you guys' content. Mental health, wellness, and self care tips, girl. I be needing your stuff. And Jay, I just like your commentary and how you be reading them people down. I love it. So I've missed you too. I see you growing and doing your thing, and I love it, love it, love it. I appreciate you guys so so much. I mean, the love is real. We in this thing. And it's fun to kind of be with a group that's starting small and grow together and support each other and that kind of thing. It's fun for me. I love it. So, um, and I'm going to share as much as I can and do, like whatever I can and whatever I share. Y'all know I'm down with it. So, Jay, mental health, wellness, and self care tips and talks. We are also talking about doing a live together and that kind of thing, and getting together and having some discussions or doing some stuff. Which we just kind of introduce it on this live, so just kind of letting you know and throwing it out there. I'm always open. Anytime that I'm on a live, y'all, and you want to come up, just tell me. I will drop the link in the comment. You can come up with your avatar and we can get it popping. That's how I like to run this thing and do this thing. So, hey, that's right. That's right. We support each other. So yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, but yeah, anytime, and we'll get together on some topics. I would love to do this election stuff over there on Bama Girl and get into some of the things with Kamala, maybe even a post review after the debate or something. Like I'm open, 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 girl. I like a good conversation. I like some challenges, and I love to get the brain turning. And you just never know, how that may hit or who is hitting. And we got to flip this thing blue. Look, I done went from um I done flipped this thing already from getting into that and the election and all of that kind of stuff. And so which is fine. I'm doubt anybody will listen to it this far into it. Oh, all right, girl. I ain't worried about them striking this thing right now. I'm still in a new phase. They ain't okay. All right. I just want to put that up there so I can go back and find it. Um, I am much stronger spiritually than I'm not that I wasn't strong, but I was very guarded. I was very, very guarded about any and everything that I experienced outside of my savior. Very guarded. And I have come to realize that, child. I'm just gonna go here. Anyway, I'm trying to make this as brief because this is not that channel. Bama girl, we can get into this kind of stuff. But I have come to realize in Jesus' walk, he went in the wilderness. That's what he expects of us. And so I have to have more faith in myself and my abilities and my control of my flesh and rely on how much absolutely love God, how much I respect what Jesus did for us and his mother. And, that love and that respect keeps me from doing and showing up in a lot of ways that I feel that may be disappointing. Right. And so I'm stronger in that sense. I don't feel as fragile. And and if souls are going to be saved, they're going to have to be in the experience of some good ones. If souls are going to be converted, there has to be some representation. So I'm not as fragile. If I really, really allow myself to get in that space, it becomes a kind of warrior spirit about it, right? I'm just, if I get back over there in this BS with this Olympic stuff, she may rise up out of the ashes on y'all. But what I'm trying to say is, I think that I can handle. I think we testing it. And if I get any inclination that it ain't gonna work, like I start getting off of my regular routine or, any kind of way that this show like kind of infiltrates into anything personal, even in dreams and things like that, I'm gonna have to drop this thing. But I'm gonna see what I can do with it. I'm gonna see because imagery is everything and exposure is everything. And so I don't need no exposure. It's enough going on, right? So I'm gonna try to rock with it, but and if the views aren't really there for it, I may drop it anyway. So we'll see. All right. Okay, I am because it's almost like it's almost like it's ringing a bell. But girl, that may have been a time when you talk about 2020. That was when that COVID kind of that may have been a time when I was extremely guarded. Like, oh my goodness, terribly guarded. Almost insanely. Um, so yeah. Jay, have you seen what they did with Jordan Childs, girl? I talked about that at the beginning. With Jordan Childs, where she competed in that floor exercise in the Olympics. They took off points for something that she actually completed. So they gave her the wrong score. She appealed it, did an appeal. They had to give her the correct score, which gave her the push to give her the bronze medal when they had already awarded to someone else. So I feel like they was trying to be slick. I'm just going to say it. They were trying to be slick. They got caught. The other team appealed it. And do you know that they just ruled talking about, well, she put in her appeal 1 minute later than the required time, so that forfeits her. Girl, they saying she got to get that medal back. Never mind that y'all didn't give her the correct score. And oh, girl over here playing like she know what she feels like and she understands and it happened to her. Ma'am, you were given a medal that you didn't deserve, ma'am. You didn't have the score. That's not the same experience, ma'am. Girl, I'm too hot. I may have to do another live. You heard about it? Hot. Don't we have to deal with enough? Dang on Paris. Girl, trying to keep myself professional over here. I was so mad. Like reading it. Woo, child, I got so mad. I was upset, honey. Like, that was my daughter, girl. Like, book me a flight. Who I need to talk to? These jokers, they don't. I mean, you saw what they did with Kelly Rowland. We heard about what they did with Shakara, but she came back and smoked anyway. Like, Track and field has been handling the business, and the women's basketball team has been handling the business. And they don't want to give all the medals to us, but we just can't help it. We're just that good. I mean, that's the problem in this country anyway. They know how good we are. The other problem is a lot of us don't know it. Don't get me started. I've already got started. Anyway, I'll be here with you guys all night. Let's see. It is, girl. It is. It is. It is. It is. It is. It is absolutely that. But I'm gonna tell you, they have to come get it. Oh, you see that, Jay? You see, mental health and wellness got your back, girl. She gonna join you. Um, they have to come get that medal from me, big dog. I wouldn't give it up. The US is appealing it as they should. It shouldn't even be this type of situation. She should not have. I think my thing is she shouldn't have even had to do an appeal. She shouldn't have had to do that. That should be null and void. It should just be null and void. And the tricks and the plays that they do on rules and regulations, I mean, it's the same thing in the employment sector. Don't get me started on that. Um, it's the same thing in the employment sector where they kind of have these gray areas that are subject for interpretation, and it's just enough room to where you can swing it either way, because notice I said gray, it's not black and white, and they do that intentionally. And I'm triggered. Hell. I'm triggered. Like, how dare they? So which show you love? What you talking about? You love which show? I love that show. Oh, which one? Which show, Jay? I done got lost in my thoughts. Um, oh, Kingdom Business. You're thinking about doing Kingdom Business. I think that that's supposed to come back. Yes, do it. I don't know if I got room to add it, girl. If I do, I'm gonna have to drop Family Business, maybe. Um, no, Kingdom Business. I haven't seen. I don't think I've seen that. I haven't gotten into the Hamptons either. Now I'm catching up to the comments. So that's what she's saying. Mental health, wellness, and self care tips and talks to do it, and she'll review it. Yeah, do it. At least one or two. I'll come over there and watch it for sure. I think I've kind of reached my max. Fatima Zatima should be coming back. The Oval, I'm hoping that that comes back. I got Big Brother over here that I'm hanging out, swinging out with. I got to catch up on because that is my show, although you can't tell. And Surreal Life, I think that's the one with Kim Zolciak on there. So I was kind of dabbling into that too. And then I got this other channel that I'll be having to kind of work through. And I'm getting a little anxiety even as I talk about it, y'all, because it definitely needs to be done. It's definitely things that we got to get into. I feel it's important enough. Once it settles in my spirit, I got to go there, and I'm going to cover this trial because it's a lot happening with that. So it is what it is. But yeah, definitely do it if you can find the time. Oh, it does have her, and she's like a businesswoman or something in it, isn't she? Girl, I don't know. Yeah, you do it, and I may. I know that it's supposed to come back, and I was looking at it before I kind of, picked up what these are. I'm also watching Bros. I got to catch up on that a little bit. Um, People did like it before. It seems okay, but it's not grabbing me like I thought it would. So I started watching it to see if I would review it. But I feel like if it's not grabbing me, it probably won't grab the audience. But I'm a little quirky when it comes to TV and things that I like, so I could be completely wrong on that. Like some reviews I'll put out and I'm like, girl, I just had to do it because I said I would do it. And then it does really well, and some that I'm like really excited about. And I'm like, oh my goodness, that was so good. I can watch that again. Child. Anyway, she's a mess, a singer and pastor's wife, and a heathen. What? Not our girl Yolanda Adams. Child, I may catch it next weekend. Maybe. I don't know. What? Yeah, at least review one or two so I can see what it's talking about. I'll join your live. Look, me and mental health, wellness, and self care tips and talks. We be over there and cut up with you. Um, so I can see, child. You done got my interest peaked. I would love to see Yolanda Adams being a heathen. Oh, sisters. Okay, so before we go, y'all, we got to catch up. Like, sisters, what did y'all think about the finale? I was disappointed. I mean, okay, she said, okay, okay, kingdom business. All right. Uh, I may get into it. Okay, good, good, good. So the new season hasn't come back yet. Okay, that's good. That's good. That's good. That's good. Because I know it was something that I was kind of looking at, but anyway. So you may do a couple just kind of to catch up and see how it does. Is that what you're saying, Jay? Okay. I said I was gonna talk about sisters, and I didn't. Um, I just I wasn't disappointed in the episode, not really. I was just disappointed that Gary didn't get much more smoke than he got. That was my only disappointment. Like I wanted to see Gary suffer. I wanted to see somebody take him down through there, but we just kind of got he's gone with a knife in his chest. That wasn't enough for me. That was my disappointment. But overall, I thought the episode was good. I think it gave us just enough to be ready for season 8, and definitely the cliffhanger of it all to see who took out Gary. Oh, the way you can see if people watch it, it's kind of just search YouTube and see he gone, girl. I think he's gone. Search YouTube and kind of see what's out there. See what the competition is. That's kind of like what I do. And, like surreal life, I think that's what it's called. It's not a lot of people watching it, but I like that kind of thing. So I'm like, I'm gonna do it anyway. So I think he is gone. I think he's gone because when Andy found him, okay, first of all, Andy ain't gonna give him no aid the way she was screaming and laughing at the same time. That was so funny to me. Um, but I think he's gone because he was laid out, and he had been missing for a minute. He was supposed to be, there at the altar, and he wanted to make that happen. So it had to have happened before that. So I hope he's gone. They better not play with my emotions like that now. He definitely need to be out of here. Um, but who did it? We know it wasn't Andy. Jordan left to go handle business. So, but I don't think a man would have used that as a weapon. So I'm kind of ruling out all the guys. Jay, girl, don't you come in here. I have not heard that spin, girl. If she was dreaming and that was a nightmare, like wishful thinking, and that fool just wasn't in there, don't do that to me. Oh my goodness. Mm-mm-mm. Girl, I'm gonna rebuke that comment. um, Hopefully, with all the other factors in there that went on in the episode, that's not what we're looking at. They better not play with me, y'all. Let me get Tyler on the phone. Don't play. Gary needs to be gone. He's beyond his time. He was doing way, way too much. Like, we gonna drag him off the screen if he don't get him up out of there. I know how he do. It could have been Hayden, and I won't put it past Hayden to use that as a weapon because he ain't the most manly thing. But ooh, honey, when Miss Marie came in there, wanted her little Peter time, honey. She wanted her little Peter Pan Piper time, and Hayden tried to pull her bluff like he's gonna go tell her business the way she handled him. Oh my goodness. That was so funny to me. Oh my goodness, girl. Yes, he was. Yes, he was. And Andy made partner. That was so awesome. Look, him and Tamara over there fighting and squabbling over that phone. Child. I said it could have been Tamara. She found out that Gary was getting married because she really think her little, you know, Hello Kitty got a hold on him with his old disrespectful self. Child, she need therapy too. Um, but it could have been her. I also think it could. I don't know if Marie would do that, but it was just the fact that it was a knife. Like I think that rules out any guys. Um, One of the commenters mentioned that it could have been his bodyguard, like the person, the assistant person who was with him, because that person was missing when the girls was talking. I can say this: they did enough to have me ready for season 8 when it come back to see what's going on with old Gary and does he make it back or well, it hadn't been my thought that he would make it back. I'm convinced that he's gone. Um, Definitely convinced that he's gone, but I was interested, honey. I'm interested enough to see what it looks like when it comes back. What you think about Sabrina and Rich? I do not like that. Okay, let me just say this. I'm concerned that Rich is only doing what he's doing to compete with the guy and he doesn't want Sabrina like that. He just doesn't want to lose her. Hayden, he's a simp. Danny did keep talking about it. Danny did keep talking about it. And I wouldn't put it past them now. Um, I think if it had been Zatima and Zach, I mean Fatima and Zach, that there would have been some knucking and bucking going on, like some furniture moving. Because them jokers, both of them, they they come with some rage. And I just don't see that with the blade type situation. But Danny was talking about it. Danny, and we already seen Danny go for the jugular when she had to fight that guy. So it'll be interesting. But Sabrina and Rich, you know, to me their relationship doesn't seem like it has a whole lot of substance. Like every time we see them, you know, like it just doesn't have a whole lot of substance. And so I just feel like he's doing what he needs to do to not lose her. There you go. I honestly think Rich is a jealous man and he only did it because he was jealous. That's the same way I feel about it. Especially how adamant he was. Now, don't get me wrong, it would be great for them to kind of do what they do and have their family. Another reason why he didn't come with anything substantial, just a baby daddy position. You know? Like, I felt like the way that he was saying that he felt and so sure that it should have come with a little bit more of a commitment. So to me, it just felt like he was just easing old dude out. I hope the guy fights for her. I hope he fights for her and really shows her what she's worth and what he can offer. And that's just kind of like my hope. Uh, I don't know if I want to see her with Rich, but uh, that's true. But Tima was probably trying to do it where it wouldn't fall back on them. That's true. She also called Madam, remember? You think why Tony isn't coming back? Girl, wouldn't that be a trip? I felt that kind of like little suspect, when he said he was going to like will because this lady, okay, so The lady has is obviously wants her family back. The children obviously want their family back. And Tony really does love his kids. So will he be able to see them move across the country? I don't know. I want Danny to get rid of him anyway because he's another one that I don't feel like is he's another one that I don't feel like is really invested. Mental health, wellness, and self care tips and talks. Jay, when are you bringing more hot recipes? Also, you hear that, Jay? You hear that? Oh, I missed the part that Madam was busy. I missed that she was busy. Um, so anyway, I am supposed to go live, y'all, over next door. I'm gonna go in here and change that. Let me give myself about 30 minutes. I gotta prepare. We're gonna get into this YSL stuff over there on Bama Girl 2.0. I set it for 8 o'clock. Uh want to be included on my channel. You see that? Yeah, girl. Get it popping. Because I be needing that help too. um, but guys, I'm gonna head on out. I love you guys down. Now I hate I scheduled that live, but I gotta do it because it's some pieces that I want to catch up on before we get into this trial tomorrow. There was some rulings that came out, and it's just a lot of stuff that's happening. So I need to prepare and get that together and try to get this transition going. And my niece just FaceTimed me. She's been in Texas all weekend, so I need to try to catch back up with her. I ain't gonna stay on the phone all night with her though. That ain't finna happen. But I really don't like to miss her calls. For real, for real. So I'm gonna get ready to head on out. I appreciate you guys so much. You have no idea. We got to connect, ladies, on this joint live, this panel kind of situation thing. I would love to do that. We'll definitely connect on that and get some things going and some conversations going. And more people are coming into this live, but um, thank you so much for joining, whoever just came in. But if you guys want to connect more, I'm gonna be over on Bama Girl 2.0. I scheduled it for 8 o'clock. I'm gonna move it to probably 8:30, maybe even 9, so I can call Miss Aubrey back. I think I'm gonna move it to 9 o'clock and catch up on this YSL stuff. I'm gonna spend an hour on it, and then the trial coverage, the judge has asked everyone to come in at 8 because they messed up something and whatever. So it's kind of like a punishment. But the trial will actually start at 9. But they have they have to hammer out what they're going to instruct the jury about wiping out uh, young Woody's case. Okay, just let me know. Yes, ma'am. Definitely. Um, So they got to hammer that out. So she's making them come in at 8 o'clock because I think that they were waiting her out that she would rule for a mistrial, and that didn't happen, which I have my whole thought process on that. So Bama Girl 2.0, join me over there tonight if you guys have time. We'll get into some of the stuff and do a little recap of a little bit. Anyway, I love you guys so much. I'm so happy you were here. And we'll catch up more soon for sure. For sure. All right. Good night, ladies. Talk to y'all soon. Thank you. I love you, girl. Love you so much. Um, yeah, I hate to go. We're having such a good time, but I gotta go. I gotta stick with my commitment and gotta finish this process up. So I will catch you guys soon, and I'll definitely be on your channels supporting and doing what I do. I appreciate your patience and giving me a little grace in it. Love you guys. Talk to you soon. Good night.